Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Welcome to Empowering Your Business with Top Online Tools for Entrepreneurs and Personal Brands. Thanks so much for sticking with me through this series. We are on part 4 of 6. That's right, there are only 2 more days left. I hope you have been getting a tremendous amount of value out of these videos. And if not, let me know how I can deliver some value to you. Like I always say, I am a wealth of knowledge when it comes to entrepreneurship, and I would love to share all what I've learned and all what I know to make sure that you are on a path to success. So today, my introduction message is about the fact that most tools are created equal. A lot of the tools that we talk about today, you're going to find that if you were to go ahead and test all of them, all kind of have similar functions, right? So let's say you're looking at MailChimp and Constant Contact, for example, for your email marketing. You'll find that they both have drag and drop capability. You can import your images, or they might have a library of images. You can add in text, and they have all these templates, and you can really customize it based on your brand colors or whatever identity that you want your email marketing to have. And what it really boils down to is your preference when it comes to user friendliness. Maybe it's easier for you to navigate MailChimp than Constant Contact, or customizability. Maybe you prefer a platform that allows you to use your own brand colors. There's not just a set of colors there for you to use. You can use your own brand colors, you can use your own images. And so I really urge you, as much as possible, to take your time and navigate through these tools, test them out. Most, if not all of them, have a free trial, whether it's for 15 days or for 30 days. And so it's really on you to test those out and see how well do you like them. Because after the first week, you might realize, okay, this looked good on the outside, but now I'm completely tired of it. Or you might realize, I really, really love this platform based on the fact that, it's highly customizable. Some of them you can do all kinds of designs that really fit your brand. So when you're looking at different tools for your business, make sure you do the free trial, test it out, see if it's something you can actually work with. Because the last thing you want is to pour money into a tool or a resource that you're so frustrated working with it. It's just like you can't even get the hang of it. It's way too convoluted and complicated. So definitely do free trials where possible, or you can have them, you can book a demo. A lot of companies, a lot of application developers, they will give you a demo, so you hop onto a Zoom and they walk you through the tool and how it works. And that's usually how you get to know a lot of these tools, is by having someone show you exactly how it works. If there's no demo, oftentimes there's a video, maybe a YouTube video. They give you a quick tutorial. Here's how to use our platform. Or there are some where the founders of these applications have gone in depth to show the user how you can navigate their platform and how best to use it. So do your research on your tools. Don't be so quick to rush into something. A lot of times you see one and it looks so great. You're like, man, this is exactly what I need for my business. But then it's hard for you to figure out how to use it. If there's one that you're really, really in love with, look for their competitor and see if they don't offer something a little better or a little different, or maybe you can navigate it better before you jump in and spend too much money on something that's just going to frustrate you in the end. It's no good for anybody. All right, so the first tool set we're going to talk about are project management tools. How are you managing the day-to-day operations of your business with project management? If you've hired a team, it's great to get your team on there. You can communicate. All communications about the project will be and should be on your project management tool, because then you can provide accountability by giving your client reports saying, last week we did 10 hours on this project. We did, design, we did research, we did some writing, and you can show a client all the work that's gone into what you have been doing with them. That is where you show the value. When they can see, here's what's going on, here's where my money is going to, and here are the results, that's something that people really, really value. So some project management tools you might consider. I use one called ClickUp. I also use Rike. So ClickUp I use for personal brand clients. Rike is what we use at Verb 360. Rike is very robust, and probably at a higher price point than some are willing to spend. But ClickUp does have a free offer. There's also Asana, there's Monday.com, and there's Trello that you can check out. And they all offer you the ability to put tasks in, set deadlines, upload files, communicate with your team. And I would even say any project communications should be within that project management tool, not on email. I mean, sometimes it's inevitable, you have to use email, but whenever you can just package everything for one project, all the communications and everything into one place, it's so much easier when if you ever need to backtrack and look at, well, what was said and what was done, it's all there in one place. So one tip is to all activity and all communications about a project should be in your project management tool. Now, they are excellent resources that help you stay organized. You can collaborate with your team members, like I said, and manage tasks effectively. One of the things I appreciate about project management tools is the fact that I can assign tasks to someone, and I can assign tasks for myself. Being able to delegate and also keep watch on that task. So a lot of times, because I create a task, that task will follow me wherever it goes, whether I delegate it or not. So I can keep an eye. A client might ask me and say, hey, can you build me a website? I'm not actually building a website, but my web developer is. And I can keep track of his progress as I go. So being able to just keep an eye on everything is magnificent. And then, things like following deadlines. You can set up your project management tool to connect to your calendar, whatever calendar you use on a regular basis. And so now you can see if I put a task in, let's say I have to finish writing a press release by Thursday, I put that task in for Thursday, and I can see in my calendar, oh, I have a deadline for a press release coming up. So project management tools are super, super amazing when it comes to staying on top of everything that you have to do for a project. Last thing you want is for things to fall through the cracks and then the client isn't happy. And you could also, one thing you should do is when you are in meetings with a client, have your project management tool open. So that way, when they start spitting out, oh, I want to do this or I need to do that, you can automatically track it into your project manager and assign it to whoever is responsible, including yourself. So that way it ends up on your calendar and nothing falls through the cracks. So project management, again, the tools are ClickUp, Asana, Monday.com, and Trello. I recently was able to use Monday.com with video editing service. And it was, pretty much the same thing. They offer you either the board view where you have cards and you can move the cards along depending on where they are in the progress of the project. So if I'm just starting, that's a new card. But if I have moved it into writing, because I'm writing a press release, now it's in progress. There are some that have a setting or a status for delayed, meaning maybe you're waiting for the client to respond, or you're waiting for somebody else to respond. And that, again, is really great for anybody who's on your team. You might have someone who manages the account, so you're not client facing, but anyone who manages the account can go in and say, okay, the last thing I saw was that Jeremy was working on the web wireframe. So things like that are super, super important so that everybody knows, everybody's on the same page, everybody knows what's going on with the project. So it's so impressive and it's super helpful to help you stay organized and stay on top of everything you have to do for a project. The next tool I'm going to talk about are your social media management tools. Praise God for the day when developers created these tools that you can schedule posts, because you used to have to sit and wait for the ability to be able to schedule your post at a specific time. And I believe it was first on Facebook where you were able to schedule posts, but now there are platforms like, I have them here, later.com, Hootsuite, Cloud Campaign is another one of them, and you just upload your information and you can schedule out according to whatever date you want to. One quick tip for that is, let's say you're posting on Instagram. Instagram actually provides insights that shows you the days of the week that are the most engaging. So for me, for example, looking at my Instagram stats, I can see that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are the days where I get the most reach. So that means you continue posting on those days where you get the most reach. You could even see the times that work best, right? So use those tools to your advantage. Like, they kind of work in conjunction with the social media management tools, so that you are really optimizing its use. What did I have here? And for anyone wondering, I'm checking notes. I've been doing that through the whole series and never really kind of gave the update on that. So yeah, scheduling your post, looking at the analytics. So one of the beautiful things is being able to see the type of impact that your posts are having. You might look during a certain week and see that a certain post, there was like a spike on like the Tuesday. A spike meaning, like, when you look at the graph, it'll show you your views. So like on the first day there was no views, so it's nothing. But then you got 3 views and you'll see a spike, and then maybe it goes back down. And so those days where you see a spike, you look back and you say, well, what did I post on that day? And now you know, okay, this is the type of content that gets engagement and it gets reach. Let me continue creating posts like that. So looking at the analytics in these tools is going to be super, super important. And some of them even have collaboration features. So for my content creators and influencers in the room, you know that working with brands, they like to see the metrics. They like to see what's going on in the back end. And so some of these tools allow you to invite in a brand that you might be working with, or a partner or a collaborator, so that you can effectively work on content that you're creating. So that is social media tool. That was leader.com, Hootsuite, Cloud Campaign. So I use all 3 of these. Leader.com I use for the Sandra Gabriel brand. Hootsuite I have because I've been on Hootsuite forever, so long that I have been grandfathered in. So my account is still free, and I have multiple accounts set up on my Hootsuite. So I have been grandfathered in, which basically means I'm keeping the same deal that I had when I signed up. And Cloud Campaign is what we're using with Verb 360. So those are social media management tools. The next tool set for your toolbox are email marketing tools. I've used MailChimp, I've used Sendinblue, I've used Constant Contact, to name a few. Those 3 though are, I feel, the most popular. MailChimp, of course, and MailChimp has evolved over the years. It used to just be email marketing, but now you can do landing pages, and they have automation and all these things. So looking at a platform like MailChimp or Sendinblue or Constant Contact is phenomenal for nurturing relationships with your audience. Right now, we have to remember that as much as you're on all these platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and you have a following, as long as that following lives on that platform, you do not own the data. You own the data, but at any time, if any of these platforms has said, hey, we're just going to cash in and take all our bucks and go to the islands, you're going to lose contact with all those people that you have built up as your following or connections that you've made online. So having an email list is a super important way to have ownership over the contacts that you have. So if Instagram ever decided that they wanted to shut down, at least you have your contacts on an email list, so you can continue conversation with them and possibly bring them onto another platform where you can broadcast news and information about your brand. So keep that in mind, very important. If you have groups, whatever you have on your pages, Facebook, whatever it is, you should have some way to integrate email marketing and to capture the emails of those people that are in your groups or who are following you. And again, they do have free trials as well. So if you wanted to try out, maybe there's yourself and 2 or 3 other friends that you wanted to put onto an email platform and just see, how easy is it for me to put together an email newsletter. Maybe I just want a simple, no flashy, no images, no nothing. I just want a simple message to go out to my subscribers. You can do that, or you can be fancy. You can brand it. You can put images, whatever you want. Just try it out and see which one works better for you, which one is easier for you to navigate. Our next tool, everybody's favorite, is all about content creation tools. And I'm talking about Canva, and I'm talking about Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator, whichever you use. I know not everybody is up on Photoshop, especially with Canva. Canva has been doing some things that there's this one more thing that if Canva were to implement this feature, then Photoshop would be running for their money. And this one feature is, it's like a skewing feature that Photoshop has. So let's say I want to show a magazine on an angle like this. So with Photoshop, I can put an image in here and I can stretch one corner, not the whole thing, one corner to kind of touch here, another corner. And this is specifically, I'm thinking of, the example I'm thinking of is a phone. Think of like a phone image. And you want to put an image in the phone, but the phone is on the side. It's like tilted a little bit. And so the thing I was trying to do was make the image fit within the phone image, but you know, sometimes it's not flat like this, so I can't just put it and it's square and it fits. If it's on the side, then I got to pull one side so it has that illusion of kind of being on a tilt. And I could do that in Photoshop. I can't do that in Canva yet. So when they figure that out, Photoshop may be going out of business, but these tools are superb for your visual content. You can create all kinds of graphics and post for your social media. You can create documents, really fancy looking documents, branded documents, proposals, or whatever you want to send out, or workbooks for the coaches and consultants in the room. Maybe you have workbooks for cheat sheets and things like that. These tools are perfect for designing. And you don't even have to have experience in design because a lot of them offer templates. So you can look for, you know, if you go into Canva and type in proposal, you'll see a bunch of templates come in where you just have to open it up and change the messaging, change the images where you want. You can change the colors, add lines, remove lines and other illustrations and graphics, and really make it your own and make it look super professional and impressive for the people who are going to receive it. And then also Canva has the drag and drop interface. So they have a library of photos. I think there was also audio and videos. And that's actually, some of them are for the paid subscription. So you might see some images and some videos that you really like, but be careful, they may only be available on the Pro edition and not the free edition. So thank God Canva does have a free edition, but there, if you want to use some of the stock photography and stock videos, you might have to upgrade, but some of them are free. So check that out before you jump in and spend too much money. But, you know, creating great presentations and having that drag and drop interface and having access to a library of photos and videos, it just really makes the whole design process very easy. And if you don't feel like you want to be designing all the time, create some templates, and then if you can hire a virtual assistant or an intern, you would have them work on it, and you just have to put the content into the design, make it look nice, and have it ready to send out. So that is content creation with Canva or Photoshop. So for the Photoshop people in the room, you know, it's not for everybody, but some of you know it quite well, and some of you are attached to it more than Canva. You've used both and whatnot. The only thing is, you know, with Photoshop, again, there's just a lot more tools, there's a lot more ways to customize and design certain things. So you may want to learn how to use Photoshop, but if you don't, Canva is your next best bet. The next set of tools you need in your toolbox are customer relationship management tools. Now, this is different from project management tools, because project management tools are for when you have the project, when you have the client, but customer relationship management tools are for everything that goes on before you get the client. So this is where, let's say you're out and about, you're networking and you make a new contact, you open your project management tool on your phone. Having a CRM that is also an application for your phone is key, because again, you will be out and about networking and you want to be able to quickly open your phone, add contacts, be able to follow up and whatnot. Some great CRM tools I'm going to talk about too. And I'll tell you why only those two: HubSpot and Zoho. I've used both. Currently using HubSpot. I used to use Zoho for Gabriel PR. And Zoho just has, they have a plethora of tools within their platform, and CRM is one of them. But I know they have an app for CRM, and same thing with HubSpot. What I really like with HubSpot is their integration with my Gmail, and I believe Zoho does do that as well. But they have a real integration. Like, I feel like their integration is a little bit different, because once you're in your Gmail and you have HubSpot connected, you can see links to your meeting, your booking pages. So if you want to quickly send, you're in your inbox and you're in your email, and you want to quickly send somebody your availability, there's a link right there that says meeting, and you can put that in. I also like that while I'm in the email, there's a add to HubSpot button. So I can click that. If it's a new contact, can click that, and they are now entered into my CRM. I love that they have an app as well. While I'm on the go, I can scan in business cards or create new contacts as I need. And I really like just being able to see all of the client information. So depending on who you're emailing or talking to, while you're in your Gmail, you can have a panel open that has all of the client information. So that's really helpful for like sales calls. If you need to see where you left off on the call, or what's supposed to be the next step, or what was discussed, you have everything right there with the client information, so you can have a really good call. Also have a phone number. I don't know if Zoho offers a phone number, but I got a phone number through HubSpot. Now I'm paying for I think it's their marketing package. So if you wanted to upgrade and do, like, I think the 1 year package is $400. Zoho, I was paying $62 a month, but I had Zoho Plus, which gave me access to 55 of their tools. Just to tell you the plethora of tools that Zoho has. They have invoicing, they have CRM, they have social media management, they have a human resources tool, they have everything. And the reason why I'm only speaking about HubSpot and Zoho, because those are the industry standard. You find that a lot of tools that integrate, let's say MailChimp, integrates with HubSpot. Now you're able to, whoever comes into your HubSpot, you can set them up on whatever campaign you have in your MailChimp to be able to send out marketing messages. But HubSpot has email marketing built in as well. So you don't even need to do that. But if you had email marketing set up already on MailChimp or some other platform, it can integrate. And same thing with Zoho. You'll find that a lot of platforms integrate with either HubSpot and or Zoho. So those are the two that I would recommend. And they have a lot of robust features. I mean, everything from, again, the email integration, email marketing. You can track all your sales. You can track your pipeline. There was also, like, the automation feature is in there. So let's say somebody signs up. So for those of you who signed up for reminders for this live, I could have set it up where, you know, the next step after you sign up is that you automatically get a link to view the past broadcast. And then you can set up another automation where maybe in 2 days you get a message asking for feedback on, you know, how did I do on my live series. I didn't go that far, but these are the things that I love about CRMs, is that you can truly manage the relationship, and you will see, you know, when you open up your contact records, all the information is there. You can see the communication that went on, so you really are informed about how the relationship is progressing in the platform. So having your CRM is super, super important for managing relationships, and not even just business relationships. I have media contacts in there. I have strategic connections in there, because it's a good idea to really keep track of the most important relationships that you're working on and know where you are in working with them and what the next steps are to progress the relationship. What do I have next? And so you remember, for the past few days, I've been talking about continuous learning. Never stop learning. Always seek out what's new, what's trending. What are your customers talking about? Some tools you're going to want to look into, some online learning tools. This is the next set of tools that you want in your toolbox is some online learning tools. I have an account on Udemy. Is it Udemy or Udemy? Udemy. There's LinkedIn Learning. There's another one called Coursera, and I believe Harvard actually had a set of online courses that you can take as well. I think iTunes, there used to be like an iTunes University. I don't know if they're still there, but a lot of universities were providing online courses through iTunes University. Maybe it's under a different name, because I don't think iTunes exists anymore. The name iTunes exists, but looking at those, universities, I know for sure Harvard had a few, maybe more. Just looking at those online tools so that you now have a tool in your toolbox where when you're ready to do your learning, you have a place to go. And not only there, but if there are influencers that you follow, that you really want to learn more from them, put their course in your toolbox as well, or put their website in your toolbox as well, because they often will release new courses or new trainings that would be beneficial for your business, and you can add that to your toolbox and make sure that you're staying on top of what they're talking about. If it's an influencer that you like and you follow, clearly there's something from them that you want to learn. So following different influencers. I remember I am following Brendan Bouchard, and I didn't even know, I felt like he had gone quiet for a while, and then out of nowhere, he's releasing a new course, right? So staying on top of what are some of the people that I admire doing, that could be another form of learning, continuous learning. But you have to have some source. I would even urge you to set aside a Monday afternoon, Thursday afternoon, or a Friday morning to dedicate 1 or 2 hours to learning. And when that time comes, you're booked. Nothing else can go into that time, unless it's like an emergency, a client emergency, and you have to handle something else. But try to square away some specific time for learning every week if possible, because to stay competitive and to stay ahead of the game, it's going to be all about what you know. It's going to be all about, how do you perform with the tools that you have, and how have you learned about them, or if you are going to, let's say you want to create a course of your own. Sometimes these platforms will teach you how to create that course. There's all kinds of learning, right? There's all kinds of learning that goes on these platforms. And so again, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, check Harvard, how great it would be to be called a Harvard graduate. There's all kinds of learning on there. And a lot of times these are things that you can apply not just in your business, but in your personal life. I remember seeing courses about personal branding, and they go beyond just, kind of thing that we're talking about today. They go deep into, learning about who you are, what is it that you love to do, all these things. All these things are great for you to learn. And then looking at industry things as well. What's going on in your industry? Maybe you're in fashion. What's going on in the fashion industry? And here are the top 5 things going on in fashion that you need to learn about, right? So sign up to newsletters on these platforms as well, because then you'll see some of the new courses that are coming out. But continual learning is crucial for your personal and professional growth. All right. So, and I did mention that I'm on Udemy, but So here's the thing with online courses, that you actually have to do them. I'm guilty for signing up for courses, and Udemy was pretty affordable at the time. I think I spent about $15 on a course on editing, and I haven't crack opened that course till this day. But editing is not my lane, right? My lane is PR, communications, personal branding. Editing is just something that I do on the side. But again, if you're going to sign up for something and pay money for it, you should actually do it. Talking to you, Sandra Gabriel. And then the next tool set that you need is for website building. We're talking about WordPress, we're talking about Wix, Squarespace, Square, Weebly. There's a whole slew of them that are so easy to use. I wouldn't put WordPress in that category actually, but some of the others are literally, you can choose a theme, you open it up, you put your words, you drag and drop whatever, images and videos that you want on there, and you lay it out how you want. It's really easy to use. Squarespace is one of those that I found that was easy to just, this is where I want my text, I want it centered, or maybe I want to do like 3 columns on part of my website. It's super easy. I'm a WordPress girl. I can't help it. It's just so dynamic, and you can really, really get into customizing the look and the feel and the function of your website. So, thinking about the fact that your website is your 24/7 representative. When you're sleeping at night and your potential customer is awake thinking about, I need a solution to my problem, and they land on your website, what does your website say? How is it built? Does it work properly? Do you even have a website? That's one thing I should ask, because you'd be surprised how many people do not have a website. And it's not necessarily killing their business, because most times it's because they're so busy. They're getting clients already and haven't had the time to stop and think about building a website or having someone build a website. But having a website is important. You're trying to generate business, trying to show your presence and who you are and what you do. So you want to have something that's going to be on 24/7, so you don't have to repeat your about, you don't have to repeat your services over and over again. People can just be on your website browsing and see tons of information that they want to know about you before they work with you. So having something in your toolbox that enables you to build and maintain website is key. Now, I spoke about WordPress. If you're not a developer, I don't know that I would advise you to use WordPress, but definitely Wix, Squarespace, Weebly, Square as well. Square actually has websites specific for if you're in retail or if you're a restaurant. I know they also come with appointment booking, and that's the thing with a lot of these websites, is that you can integrate different things. So WordPress for sure has a plugin for everything. When they say that there's an app for that, for on your phone, whatever you want to do, there's an app for that. When it comes to WordPress, there's a plugin for that. Whatever you want to put onto your website, whether it's an email capture, you want to put booking, or you can embed it. Let's say you already use Calendly. Some of these websites allow you to take your Calendly code, put it on your website, and now you can continue using Calendly. Let's explore. There's a range of things that can be put into your website to help, whether it's you're trying to track your visitors and how much time they spend on the website, or you're trying to integrate your social media so that people can see your social media feed, or you're trying to have a booking, trying to have a booking part of your website where people can come in and book a meeting with you, or maybe you want to have e-commerce, you want to sell stuff on your website. The possibilities are endless, right? So don't sit there and think that you're stuck and you don't know what to do and you have to build a special website. And where are you going to start? You're going to start with looking up all of these tools. And I think one of the underlying messages in all that I'm talking about is not to rush, not to feel rushed into anything when it comes to your business. You want to take your time. You want to make an informed decision, and you want to feel good about the tools that you're using. One thing I know for sure is that tools can be frustrating. They can be confusing. But if we take our time and we really explore them and we ask questions and we do the demos and look at the videos and all of that, then we know that we are going to be using something that we actually like to use, that is easy to use, and that is you can train somebody to use it as well. Remember, we spoke yesterday about hiring people, and if you're bringing them on, what tools are you going to use? Is it going to be easy for them, or is it going to be hard for them? Or am I going to be able to train them effectively on using these tools? Because if I don't get it, I can't train anybody else to do it. So really evaluate your tools. Really, really evaluate them, because you don't want to be changing. That takes a lot of time. If you're going to be all set up on one tool because you felt like you liked it and this is so great and it's going to be great, and now you have like a CRM with all your clients in there, all the information, and then a month later you're like, I really hate this tool. Now you got to move all these things over to another platform. So this is why you want to use that time in the beginning to really get to know what you're getting into, and then you sign on, then you put in the money, do the free trials, do the demos, just to make sure you're not being inefficient and that your time is being used wisely. So if any of this is helpful for you guys, please, I say it all the time, book a free discovery call with me and we can talk more about these tools. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I've used them all. I've used every one. And for the ones I haven't used, like I said in the beginning, most tools are created equal. So I can easily get in and navigate. And if you need help figuring out what tools work best for you, if you want some advice on, should I use MailChimp or should I use Constant Contact? And I would walk through it with you and show you, well, here are the pros and cons of each. Right, so we can sit down, we can talk about what tools are good for you, what tools do you actually need. Maybe you don't need an email marketing platform because you decided that you're just going to communicate with people through social media, which would be against your better judgment. But this is just an example. So definitely book a discovery call. It's free, completely 100% free. The only time you would pay is if you want to go deeper, right? You want to talk strategy, then we would do that. But I strongly urge you, before you make a decision, if you feel like you're moving into this too fast, definitely book a discovery call with me. And for those of you who are new to the broadcast, joining me just tonight, welcome. Happy Friday. A little bit about me. I am an entrepreneur. I've been in business for 18 years. I'm president of PR communications at Verb 360. But I wanted to maintain some way of continuing to work with personal brands, especially Black women, to make sure that we are not wasting time and money and resources on things that are not suitable for our business. I want to be able to empower Black women, point in the direction of funding or mentorship or networking opportunities, because that's where we lack the most. And so I have maintained a stance of being a personal branding consultant so that everyone, not everyone, but whoever needs help as an entrepreneur can get the help that they need. I invite you to visit my website, sandragabriel.com, and join my guest list. I will be sharing resources and tips and insights as I come across them. You can also follow me on Instagram, where I will be sharing resources and tips and insights. You see, there are some of them that are already there, and not just through my Sandra Gabriel brand, but through my Christianpreneur Life podcast brand. So I urge you to check that out. You can also find those on my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, please do so. What are you waiting for? There's so much good juiciness coming out of this that you should have been subscribed a long time ago. Our next session is going to be all about business systems. So I know that sounds a little bit like online tools, but I'm talking about systems. What systems do we have set up for customer experience? What systems do we have set up for scalability? and efficiency and growth. What are those systems? So we're going to talk about that tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And if you need a reminder, check me out on sandragabriel.com. You'll see the brand new banner at the top. Click on that and you'll be taken to the page where you can leave your name and your email. And I will send you a reminder 20 minutes before we are ready to get started. So to wrap up, leveraging online tools, you can streamline your operations. And this is what's important. You don't want to be the brand that is super slow at doing everything, and there's so many parts of your process that the client is just like, this is too much. You want to have things moving as efficiently as possible. So using certain tools will definitely help that. Streamlining your operations, maximizing your productivity, expanding your reach as well. And technology, think of technology as a powerful enabler, right? You will be enabled to grow your business exponentially because you're doing things in a streamlined process, right? It's helping you to move things along more quickly so that you can get clients in, build up your portfolio, shine like a star online, because it's all online, everybody's online. Using certain technology, using certain tools is really going to help you stand out. And there's so many more out there. I've only touched on a few that are like key for any business, but there are so many out there, like sales tools. So CRM is one thing, but there are sales tools designed to scrape a platform. I shouldn't be pushing this, but those tools are out there. I'm just telling you what's out there. I can get a tool to scrape my Instagram, get the emails of all my followers, and then I can automatically send them a message, or I can automatically bring them into my HubSpot CRM, and now they are added into a workflow that has ongoing messaging to keep that audience engaged. Like I know them all. You all think I'm joking when I say that. It is super true. And what I don't know, it's not hard for me to learn. So this is why I feel like I can come in and help you if you feel like you needed some help. If you needed some help with navigating some tools for your business, again, you can book a discovery call for that. And just embrace it all. Embrace this digital revolution, right? Like, technology is not going anywhere. And for a lot of us, we tend to shy away from it, and I don't know about this and whatnot, but you really need to embrace it, because I have a strong belief that it's when if you approach technology and you're frustrated and like, this thing never works, and why isn't that working, and this stupid thing, and blah, 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 and you want to break your computer in half, I feel like, and this is going to sound crazy, but I feel like technology can sense that. I feel like, the more enmity you have with your technology, it's the more that things are going to be difficult for you, as opposed to if you embrace it and say, okay, technology and I are friends. Okay, you don't have to say that. But, approach it with this attitude of, I need this and I'm going to make this work, and I'm not going to have a negative feeling toward it. I strongly believe that technology can tell when you're not being friendly, and it will shut down on you. But just embrace it, take it in, be as open as possible to learning, right? Learning these tools and making sure that you use the best ones for your business to empower you on your entrepreneurial journey. Thank you guys so much for joining, and we will see you tomorrow.